Hello, friends. My name is Steve. I forgot where I was, and welcome to the first 13 chapters. We'll be discussing the first 13 chapters of A War to End All. It's the third book in the Manifest Delusion series, and it is written by Michael R. Fletcher and Clayton W. Snyder. So thanks again to them for allowing us to read the book early. Really appreciate it. And we'll start with introductions. Varsha, will you kick us off, please? Oh, there we go. That was after bad luck. Yeah.
I guess she doesn't run an internet provider.
Can you start that one over, Varsha? You broke up.
Oh. Oh no, I got dropped
Yeah,
off.
you froze just as soon as you started talking.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my name is Varsha. I run a little YouTube channel called Reading by the Rainy Mountain, where I like to talk about my favorite books, my first time through this series, and I'm excited to discuss the first 13 chapters that Steve is also reading for the first time during this discussion, so that should be fun.
We're all in uncharted territory. And Joshua's here early because he's dedicated.
Yes, I am. I'm Joshua, and I'm a member of the Page Chewing Forums.
Nice. And Dan.
My name is Dan, and I also am a member of Page Chewing Forums, but that's not the only thing I do in my life. But it is the only relevant thing for this, I guess.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Such a tease, Dan.
Are you a hitman?
I don't want you to bore you with what I do for work. So
international spy, nobody knows. It's just out there now.
Yeah, that would be a bit more exciting, probably.
Yeah. So the first 13 chapters, Joshua has read the whole book already, though.
Alrighty.
But he couldn't help himself. But what did everyone think about the first quarter?
I thought it had an interesting mix of introducing new things and also continuing with what was already familiar to us. It didn't. So the ending of The Mirror's Truth teased big things to come, and I sort of expected that to start right away. It didn't, but that was like I'm neutral about it. I don't have an opinion about it, but I thought it was interesting that we sort of stayed with our characters where we left them off and are now building towards something big, it seems like, because we saw some aspects of the world that feel different or unexplained, like a certain obsidian man. Yeah.
It's been I told you guys, I think 8-9 months since I last read the Manifest Delusion, and indeed this book felt like instead of starting to walk, I was made to run early. But because of the nature with all the chapters being you're following someone, it felt real easy to get back into and to follow immediately, like, okay, so this person is going that way and this person is going that way, and yeah, it clicked immediately for me.
Fair enough. I also thought like Varsha maybe was a bit, I don't know, it felt a bit slow to me, I guess, because we were used to how fast it was going at the end of the last book, right? A lot of things happening, a lot of exciting things, and then you start a new book and it's it needs to ramp up again, I guess. That's the usual trajectory, right? It just ramps up for the book and then new one starts and it does the same thing. I'm hoping that it does. There were some interesting things. There were some chapters which I wasn't too interested to, but I'm hoping it ends up again like the last book, in which sort of a lot of things tie up again and becomes more just all interesting parts by the end. But yeah, I think the Obsidian man or Obsidian creature part was maybe the more intriguing part. I don't know, like the parts with all the doppels of Morgan, right? I think we haven't seen all of them. I think we've only had 3 chapters, right? We've only seen 3 of them.
We've seen Taboo, Doubt, Perfection. What was the 4th one? Contamination. We've seen all 4.
Oh, we've seen all of them? Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I thought
But
so too.
those parts were a bit more, I don't know, they felt a bit more comedic to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were just going around, like, randomly doing very extreme stuff, I guess. I don't know. It was very, just in their own lane, I guess, sort of thing. Those were also interesting, I guess. Other things are just like sort of continuation. I guess it's nothing too exciting is happening. I guess maybe the oh god, what's his name? Already forgetting all the names. The different guys.
Koenig?
Koenig, yes. Koenig. Koenig's part was also interesting, especially because we haven't seen him in a while, right?
Yeah. I think he defeated his reflection off screen in the last book, right?
Yeah, I was
guess so.
I was a little confused with that because I thought that Failure had taken the mantle of Koenig, but it looks like Koenig is back, and it's not Failure.
He got out of the mirror, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused with that one.
But we don't know how that happened, did we?
Yeah. I thought there was a bit of an explanation in this book. I think, doesn't he say something to the effect that he drilled the reflection with what made him doubt himself enough that he was able to I guess he broke the mirror. He was so angry, and once he did, Failure was able to step out and then killed the reflection that had manifested itself.
Yeah, I guess. Would have been cool to see, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe just start the beginning of a chapter with that or something like that, like him standing
do a
above the
time
kill,
skip,
something like that. But I was a bit confused. That's why I was like, is this Failure? Is this the reflection? Right? I guess it could. No, it couldn't be. It couldn't be like the obsidian thing that got created. Because didn't it also like copy Koenig?
Yeah, so I think chapter 10 was that chapter, and it looked like it went back in time. Like it didn't look like it was in the same. It looked like we had gone back and we're looking at what happened before with that creature, but I'm not sure. I wasn't sure about that. But it looks like it's current. Okay.
I thought it was current because it all starts when Gehin goes to the basement to talk to the code artists, right? To take them on the mission at Koenig.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. And that was interesting that Gehin woke the obsidian thing up. Seems to suggest that there's something special about her because he's not able to influence her the way he expected to. I'm saying he because it ended up being Koenig, but are we saying that nobody passed down in all those eons that would have woken up the obsidian creature? Or maybe not a powerful enough Geisteskraken. No, I don't know.
Geisteskraken,
The first time I tried to pronounce that.
Yeah, and I think one of you had mentioned that the humor is very more forward. I think it's well, it was before, but it seems like it's there's a couple of sections like they name a city. It's like, who thinks of these names anyway? It kind of poking fun at itself. So I kind of like that.
It works for me, especially when because I've got Dutch as my main language, or Flemish, and then German is closely related to it. So for me, every time I see one of those names, I'm like, yeah, that's this. This is this, and it's easier for me.
So knew all along that the name of the city was self-hate, and the name of the religion was delusion. Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It worked. It worked a lot like Morgen and Nacht. It's morning and night. It's easy for stuff like that. But there are so many names. What were the contartists again? The name of the ones.
In the eclectic and the.
No, the eclectic. Yeah, the eclectic is also a name like stelen is stealing in Dutch.
Oh.
What is bedecked?
Covered.
Oh. Okay. I need to translate these names. The boy that I forget which doppelganger, but the boy that one of the doppels tied himself to, his name translated to the long pig when I looked it up.
Yeah. True. Langes. True.
I thought I read somewhere that the people that spoke German, some of our readers were like saying maybe these are too silly, and I think didn't he change the aren't the names changed in the German version? I think to make it less silly.
I think so. Yeah.
Could be, but it's a combination of our languages. It's fun. Yeah, for me it's fun.
Yeah. But I think they changed the names in German, in the translation.
Yeah, I think he had somebody come in and help him with it. I think that's what he had said before, that he had some names changed, but yeah, and yeah, that's pretty neat. I didn't realize that the names were. I never thought to translate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the obsidian creature was thinking to itself that this city is called self-hate and that religion is just called delusion. And I was like, wait, is that what those words mean?
Yeah, I had, I think I knew it since a while ago because I had read someone mentioning that, and then I was like, yeah, but that kind of makes sense. But yeah, and I think I can remember other, I don't know, sometimes you read when an author is trying to make some fancy names or use a different language as template, but when you know that language and you're like, it sounds very similar to just this random word.
Yeah.
It is a bit weird. But yeah, I can imagine if I tried to write some sort of Chinese fancy and I started making up some names, I don't think it would. I think it would be probably even much worse than this.
Yeah.
But he's very good at coming up with this stuff. I mean, the fat guy that broke Morgan, Erbrechen, Honor Breaker, Godless.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Interesting. All right.
Nice.
So if there are words you're thinking of or names that you're like, where does this come from? Sometimes I immediately see it. Sometimes it's harder. Lebendig, lively.
Oh. Nice. It just changes the whole thing, right? Well, not by a lot, but it adds another layer.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. Yeah,
that's why I really love this series.
So is Fletcher German or of German origin, or did he just decide to play with the German language?
He's Canadian.
Okay.
That's
Damn Canadians.
They're always up to something.
It could have gone French, but
doesn't sound as menacing. I think French. I don't know.
Nah. True.
But yeah, maybe it's like I don't know. It's like Earthsea, where the name of things gives them power, like character or something like that.
But you've got something there because all of the their delusions or their powers are names that do exist in some form, as in they're
so maybe
connected.
German is the language of magic in this world, and if you give names to German names, it makes them, that way. Could possibly, who knows? It's maybe it's a post-apocalyptic future of Earth, And like,
Oh, that's
this
where
is
we're
when-
going, huh? Okay.
It could be. It's always like half of fantasy books. Is it ancient past of Earth, or is it like the apocalyptic future of the Earth, sort of thing?
Was there something in this set of 13 chapters that felt like this is set in a future Earth? I highlighted something. I'll try and find it, but it felt like they were describing some Earth machinery or something. Let me see. Oh, I can't. Don't have my.
There
oh,
was
here it is.
some discussion or something about how belief shapes the past, right? But I don't think
Yes.
that's what you're referring to.
I don't think so, but I did highlight that too. We should talk about it. Yeah, but keep talking about other things. I'll try and find this one. What did you guys think of Doubt's horse and
Oh, the horse. The name of the horse. What was the name of the horse again? Letzten Kriege?
possibly
Last War.
Oh,
was
Last
that?
War?
last?
Oh, okay.
Nice. Interesting. So the horse is going to last, I suppose. Don't tell us.
Fair
I
enough.
love Doubt so much. So when Dan said he went further and further with the funny things with all the doppelgangers. It's how far can you go though? That's what I felt immediately when the names come up, Contamination and Doubt, and how powerful are they? And you need to really go crazy in your mind to think of stuff that they do or can do or will do. And each chapter goes further and further in that psyche, and yeah, Doubt was one of those. I'm like, doubt should be very, very powerful, because doubt is everywhere. And if you doubt something, what happens?
Yeah, for sure. But one thing I was unsure about those doppels, why are they helping Morgan? Because there was some explanation about why they're not plotting against him, but I didn't really follow it. I don't know if you guys can make it explain it better. Because they seem to be, they're not plotting against him, right? They're helping him. For now, I guess.
Yeah, for
Right.
now.
But they seem a lot more cooperative than all the other doppels we've seen.
I think maybe they're just waiting for the right time. It's kind of the way I took it, is that they wait for the opportunity to
Yeah.
strike or to take over.
Maybe. But they did
Yeah,
say
yeah.
something about, we're not going to plan to kill you because of something with them to being aspects and not real doppels, but I didn't understand that part.
Yeah. Also, don't forget that Morgan is a Gefahrengeist, so he has influence over everything and everyone around him. But now you say it like that, you have to keep in mind. So he sends them on a quest to bring him a bigger army and conquer the known world for him and make it perfect. The further they get,
The
what
less
happens?
less influence he has over them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I did wonder about that. How are they still? Shouldn't they disappear because they're so far from Morgan, because they are his delusions, or do they become more real and different from Morgan as they go farther away from him?
Well, that's something you'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Did all of you think Taboo was kind of them just having fun with? Is he just like
Yeah.
bonkers? Like,
His thoughts is great.
Yeah.
Great.
I think he was my favorite out of all of them, but
Ah,
I
was...
I think I like Doubt's chapter the most because of the horse, specifically the joke about striking a chord in D minor.
oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and also when I don't remember how it goes, but he asked the horse what he's thinking about, and the horse is like, "This obviously," and Doubt is like, "I don't think I'm
Yeah.
supposed to know obviously what a horse is thinking about."
Yeah, it's that's also the thing I said with doubt that he's so powerful. Why are we? How is it we're conversing? I don't believe horses can talk, but you don't know, and that's why the horse can talk. So everything he doubts becomes a manifestation. It's like,
And that was also interesting because doubt has a doubt that all manifestations or all delusions are caused by doubt. And he goes on a purpose to remove all doubt from the world, which is also what Morgan's goal is. He wants to remove all delusions from the world, or one of the things that he wants to clean up is all the delusions from the world. So in some sense, he's sort of aligned with Morgan in what his final goal should be.
I mean, I guess we all are sort of, because contamination wants to clean everything, which is the same, right? And then what's the other ones? Perfection?
Yeah, perfection.
What
does perfection want?
Everything perfect.
Mm.
Right?
Yep.
Organized, I guess.
Mm.
Yep.
And then the last one is
Taboo.
Taboo. I'm not sure. Actually,
Taboo.
he wants to erase taboos.
Mm.
does he vote?
He seems pretty into taboos.
Well, yeah, I guess he does. But I mean, if taboos are not taboos anymore, then he probably wouldn't find them interesting anymore. I guess the good old thing that makes prohibited things more attractive.
Mm.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly of this one.
Yeah.
And we talked. I'm sorry, Varsha, go ahead.
Sorry,
No,
go ahead.
I was going to change the subject. Go ahead.
I was going to ask what you all thought of contaminations destroying the village. Basically, that I thought that. But it both changed tone and it didn't in a very short span. Like we were, I got to laugh at just how silly he was being. Oh, you don't want shoes. You're basically giving yourself an infection because you're worried that someone wore your shoes and then took them off, replaced your shoes with your shirt and your pant, and then suddenly the whole village is dead.
Yeah.
That escalated quickly. And I don't think it was supposed to hit any serious notes, but what did you think of that? That sort of, it was. I didn't see that coming, and it was interesting, I guess, how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know if shoes make much sense. It's like I don't know. It feels like okay, if he was living in a sterile environment, maybe. But I mean, everything is dirty there. I don't from what I've seen, nothing is clean. So I don't see how it makes any difference wearing shoes that someone else wore. I don't know.
He believes that it does.
Yeah, but he believes himself clean as well. I mean, and everybody dies around him because he's contamination.
Yeah.
He's a contradiction in itself. Yeah,
because all the things he's like, there could be cholera or stuff like that in the water, and then it's like, then there is, right? But yeah, the Boots thing is like sort of, you'd figure that since someone which wants to be clean and everything else, he should have predicted that. I feel, that it would end up like that. But I guess they're not very smart.
Were they all sort of learning how they influence the world? Did we see them discover their abilities in these chapters? Because I felt like that's true for Doubt. Because, did we? Because the horse is talking to him because of his doubt.
Then again, he's doubting himself that the horse is talking. So I don't think he's really learning something. It's more like it's happening to him.
They'll feel like they're blind to their own obsessions, right? That's what it seems like. A lot of these people with delusions, they're blind to their own obsession, right?
Yeah.
Where they're missing like obvious parts just because it's like part of what they, the weird thing that defines them, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all also had an additional obsession besides the one that they are named for. Like Taboo was saying 3 is a magic number, so he'd say, "Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me." Or I think, I don't know, one of the others was lining up stones perfectly. I guess it was perfection.
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, they seem to have other obsessions similar to Morgan with his fingers. They all had some other additional obsession.
I interpreted them as being like extensions of that, because like Taboo, like that being like an auspicious number, like that's connected to, they're sort of connected, Taboo, traditions, folklore, whatever, like, right? Like why we do things, why in tradition we do things, right? Why some things are taboo, usually it's connected to some sort of survival instinct or in the past, right? But it's justified by tradition or religion or whatever, right? So that if it felt like something like that, and then perfection just like in a line because the line is more organized, I guess,
Yeah,
or
that
a
makes
square
sense.
or whatever. I think.
Yeah, that explains it. I think it does. I didn't make that connection, but yeah, what you said makes sense.
But I did stop at that part too, because I was like, wait a sec, let me think about this for a second, if it makes any sense. But yeah,
A really big
we'll see.
focus on reflections, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reflection?
There was...
No.
Or aspects.
Oh, well,
Dopplers, sorry.
Dopplers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for reflection, there was also the mirrorists. Is she now possessed? Well, she switched, right? They have the woman mirrorist, the young girl.
Zukunft.
Yeah. Whatever her name is.
Future.
Yes, okay.
That's what it means. Future.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, she switched, right? Because she's saying that she's not her anymore, right? So I assume, I interpreted that as meaning that her mirror image swapped with her. That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, me too. But
Oh.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh, because she said my sister is the mirrorist.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was curious, and I didn't follow on that thought. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So we don't know what
does
happened then. Yeah.
does she now look like her sister then? Or did Victic not see her while she was Zukunft?
Or maybe technically, maybe she was always the mirror image, and the one inside was always. They said switched a while ago. Maybe. That's also
It's possible.
possible, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe like when that thing happened, her sister was like the mirrorist, and then she got trapped in the mirror. Some weird stuff like that. I don't know. Like I could see other interpretations too, and they got.
Yeah, that does.
And there was
Yeah,
another
but-
thing connected to that in this part was quite interesting, I thought. Like the explanation of why they couldn't no one could see past the cabin because of what happened with Bedect, which made it real, which made it so that nobody could see past that because the delusions didn't work.
yeah.
Right?
That's a sane zone.
A saint.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Huh.
Remind me where that's mentioned. I only
I think
vaguely
Nacht
remember it.
said something about that.
Oh, I see.
There was someone
Okay.
doing a reflection about that. He's like, something about, what was it? Why was it that I couldn't see past the cabin and we're past? And there's some other part about, Bedect made things real in that split instant. Maybe he was talking with Morgan, maybe? It was one of them, right?
Yeah, possibly. Or was it just a self-reflection without,
Maybe.
maybe not a conversation?
But in any case, that makes sense, right? Why
Yeah,
they couldn't
yeah.
see past that.
Yeah.
But I assume it only affected that area around there. It didn't affect everything. But I was unsure because at some point someone mentioned, for a brief second the whole world or something was normal. But I don't know if it just meant like that area. or everywhere. That's I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So did that dragon die in the last book just because she fell from such a height?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
She got what she did to the horses.
Pretty much.
Steve, what are you going to start a topic
No,
about?
I had one of the first notes I have written down, because we had talked last book about we were kind of trying to decide what the religious message was, or what they were trying, like what Fletcher was trying to kind of get his point across about religion. But it's pretty on the nose. There in chapter 7, one of the things I've written down was religion was a pathetic excuse for the masses to offend to offload their transgressions and soothe their squirming consciences. So it's
Yeah.
that's so I guess there's that answer.
There's also one about if religion is the opium of the masses, how the priests are basically drug lords for handing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I highlighted a lot in this book, because I like it when people express such strong opinions about religion. So
Yeah. It's always fun to read. One of those cathartist poets that is in the beginning of the chapter, Halbert Told, as half dead.
oh,
That makes sense.
so did he just like go on Google Translate for these things?
Could be. We'll have to ask him.
Yeah. There was lots more humor, I thought. And I'm not sure if any of you have read Snyder's other book, River of Thieves. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny, and you kind of see some of that in this these few chapters.
Yeah. I when I was reading, I was like, "Whoa, this is so much more like those books." And then he co-wrote this. Okay.
Yeah.
Were the first 2 books just Fletcher then?
Yeah, and then the third book is Snyder helps him, Clayton Snyder.
How does co-writing work?
I think some of them use like a Google Doc, and they'll like they'll just both write some. I think they all have different methods, but we'll get a chance to ask them in a few weeks because they're going to be coming on. So
Nice.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
but yeah, we'll have a chance to ask them that. But I know they did another book. I can't pronounce it. But they have another book that's really popular. They wrote together, so I think they have was it Something Groans? I'm going to butcher the name, but it's another book on my list to read.
Something grows?
Groans.
Oh yeah, Nordliska groans.
Okay, yeah, you're braver than I am. But yeah.
Yeah.
I hear it's really great. It's another book I'm going to read.
That was a good one too. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
I have it on my list. Queen of Nord. This River of Thieves is called The Thieves' Lyric, the name of the series. I like that.
It is so funny. I've never laughed so much reading a book. It is hilarious.
Yeah, but
nice.
he loses a part of the chapters, the funny chapter names. It's kind of gone in the second one, but the conversations are funnier. So anyway.
But yeah, very lots of farts and other stuff that so yeah. I was happy to see Geharin. How do you pronounce it, Joshua?
Geharin?
What does that mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Some of these are more difficult because it's like this one. I was like, it's almost like hearing, but it's not. I think so. I'm not sure about this. She's a Hassebrand, which is hate fire. So it has to do with the feelings you have. The more you hate, the hotter you burn.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
But she has a bad time the whole time in all the books so far, right? She's like very, very unlucky getting enslaved by Erbrechen and then coming back, and she's just...
Yeah, I was sad to find out that she had a brief relationship and then that ended poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that did sort of confirm what we were thinking the other time, which is like if these guys just got some therapy, they would be better, right? Because she went to a normal place and she had normal life without things always making her think she's being killed, and then she started losing some of her powers and some of the negative things, and it was right.
Yeah. And
She wasn't afraid of the sun anymore.
yeah. And there was a line there about how she was losing weight even though she was eating more while she was in that city. And her size is a delusion, right? So I guess that's an indication that her delusion wasn't working anymore. Or at least not as much. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, too bad she couldn't stay there.
No. Because Morgan called her back, right? But her guy died before that. It wasn't because she was being called back.
Yeah.
It wasn't on their journey back that he died. No, it was.
No, I thought she got randomly killed by something. What was she randomly killed by? But it was very sort of like, oh, it was going pretty well, and then she got randomly killed. So, oh well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Time to get back. I think she got stabbed. Didn't she get stabbed?
Yeah. Yeah, it got attacked by bandits or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. But was it on their journey back or in the city while they were still in the city?
I thought she was still in the city, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you're probably right. I didn't... Because I feel like she would have blamed Morgan harder if it had been on their way back. Or at least Koenig.
Maybe, yeah.
Your hearing should be brain. Huh. Okay. Didn't see that. Yeah, not all of them click.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So something we
Maybe...
go ahead. I'm sorry,
go ahead.
Varsha. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just joking that maybe it's a foreshadowing for her role to come. Don't tell us. But yeah, go on, Steve.
No, just something we haven't touched on yet is Morgan losing a big part of his army, and what that was, that whole scene with him in the battle, and he seems a little helpless now, I think, without... He seems ill-equipped to do what has to be done because of his compulsions, I guess.
Yeah. Everything needs to be perfect, and he's failing at it, and then he gets angry, and he loses... every time he loses control, it gets worse and worse and worse. He's like, a child, even though he should be a man now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did like, though, wasn't there, a bit where he was like, he was trying to think, and then some guy walked in and he cast a shadow and she just exploded him.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty
Shouldn't
good.
have done that.
Yeah.
How is that helping the cleanliness project?
With his rug.
I think it is. But yeah. They seem, I don't know. A lot of these delusionists seem, how to say, kind of stupid. You know what I mean? Like they should know better.
They're unstable.
They're unstable. But they're also kind of dumb. I don't know.
It does kind of make sense because that's what an obsession is, right? It's to the exclusion of all else. So, yeah.
They lose themselves in their obsession, their unstable thoughts. They're completely gone, and yeah, if someone doesn't see something, it makes them in someone else's eyes stupid, I guess.
Well, I think part of it is the presentation, because it is like tongue in cheek, and there is some humor involved, and I think the like taboo. If it would have been in the lens of like Baker, it would be a whole different experience. I think the way it's presented and like the dialogue, and it's presented a different way. So I think that's part of it, though they seem kind of silly or like kind of dumb because. But if it was like a different author had written it, then it could go really, really dark or another direction. So, but yeah, they do seem a little silly.
Yeah. It did. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe it does feel like I'm trying to think how. Well, I haven't really been with many insane people in real life, but from reading accounts and stuff like that, a lot of it can be like Jozua said. Right, very focused on their obsession, but also a lot of it is kind of like they can be quite unpredictable, I guess. So maybe I guess there is a bit of that, because when they do get like when Morgan gets angry, he just suddenly just like fucking just explode a guy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's called deranged or chaotic in the book itself. So.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So did I miss it, or do we know what attacked Morgan's camp? Like the night that he loses a big piece of his army, because it seems like they're kind of creatures. But did we miss who they are?
Well, we got a chapter after they explaining that it's like the undead half of the army of the Geffer guys from whatever city, I don't remember. One of the other cities.
From the king Deep Schmutzig.
Yeah.
Which means what?
Deep Filthy.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, I think it's like that. Yeah, it's the undead half of that army, right? And now Nacht is going to try to take control of him, I guess.
Yeah, he's waiting till Morgan has depleted his force and becomes weaker, so much weaker that he can overpower him.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, this seemed Varsha and Joshua and I were talking right before you jumped in, Dan, about the length, and this book is like 500 pages in print, 535. It didn't feel like it at all, because we read a quarter, so we read about 130, 140 pages. It didn't feel like it. It read really fast, so I was really surprised that it read so quickly.
Yeah. Well, I guess the prose is quite fast, right? It's not dense. It's there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of more short sentences. It flows quite fast, right? As compared to other books. So yeah, it doesn't feel that long. It did not feel like, well, we're up at 1/4, which is 150 pages. No, that's wrong. It's 125 pages.
Oh.
I started with 175 because that's how good I am at math today.
Yeah, I failed math, so don't ask me any math questions.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did not feel like that, especially because I read all of them in like the last 2 hours or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Most of them. Like, I started a couple of hours ago at chapter 3, I think.
Yeah. But it's real fast. It's really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I took about 2.5-ish thereabouts. So
Yeah.
It does go pretty fast.
So I think that's why it also feels a lot more. I don't know. To me, it feels a lot more modern. Again, the writing style. It's a lot more. It's a lot less descriptive and maybe plodding. Some people would say of older fantasy. So yeah, in general, it all feels quite
Yeah.
after 2010. That's how I'm going to describe it.
For this world, I'm actually kind of glad for the lack of descriptions, because I don't the kind of descriptions we do get, I'm like, I don't want them.
Fair enough. But it does, yeah. But like we were saying another time, I think it would be quite fun to have something like have the same world sort of described by different authors, just to see how different it would be. I wonder if there's something like that, like make an anthology of like a theme, and then they all describe it somewhat like the story is somewhat similar, and they all describe it in a different way in their own style. That would be quite interesting, because I can think of a bunch of different ones. Even in Grimdark, they would like what's his name, Glenn Cook, the Black
Company.
Company guy, right? But he will also describe it a different way, with
Black
with
Company.
humor, but a different type of humor, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot of other ways. I don't know, I thought it could be interesting.
I'm not trying to get myself in trouble, or I'm not trying to get tarred and feathered, so everybody calm down when I say this, but not all of you, not the three of you, but other people listening. I'm sure there's an AI thing out there where you can say, like, give me manifest delusions written by so-and-so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I think so. I've seen posts like that on the subreddit for the Second Apocalypse, and they were like, what's the famous AI? What's the name of it?
Like Midjourney?
No, not Journey, like the one that talks to you.
Like
the
Chat
text,
GGP or whatever?
maybe it was ChatGPT. Anyways, it was like, talk to me like Kellus, and describe things. And he was doing somewhat of a good job, but it was very like superficial level sort of thing.
Wow.
It was somewhat capturing it, but without like the metaphorical depth that you would expect, right? So it could probably do a good job, but miss some of it, little quirks and little things, right? Which make it interesting.
You say, talk to me like Taboo. That would be fun.
Forgive me.
I don't want to be skull fucked. I'm sorry. I don't want to be.
Yeah. That would get interesting really quick. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But yeah, the Obsidian. I wonder, because I know Fletcher has the Obsidian series that I need to read. But I don't know if there's a connection there, because.
Oh.
I am very interested in that as well. I haven't read the other books, that trilogy, but when I read about the statue, and I was like, doesn't he have a series like this? Is it connected? And yeah, I have no idea. But,
was that co-written by both of them? Obsidian Path, is that what it's called?
No, Blackstone Heart is the first one. She Dreams in Blood is the second one, and An End to Sorrow. But one of the description, like, She Dreams in Blood, drawn by the shards of his obsidian heart, and I'm like, shards and obsidian. The statue takes a shard and makes it into first Gehirn, and then König himself. So I'm like, could this be related?
Maybe. I guess we did have a bit of a not preview, but it was suggested in, like, I think even from the first book they were saying, underneath this catacombs here there's like old relics and old gods that people haven't looked into for a long time.
Yeah.
So I assume he's gonna be fairly important.
Yeah.
Because of that, because we've been sort of teased about it for a while. Because I was wondering the first time they mentioned it, it was like, are we gonna see some more of that? You know, are we gonna find underneath? It seems interesting.
And then you have the old gods, which reminded me of the City of Sacrifice, the other series he has. It's also a trilogy about how the old gods went away and stuff.
Yeah. So a lot of teasing for now. I'm not.
Yeah.
like they're also teasing us about other areas outside of this like collection of realms. They're saying in west or east or whatever. They mention it multiple times, right? And I'm like,
has anyone read the other ones? The other one, Swarm of Steel, the other book sets in
I
the
have
desert.
it on my shelf somewhere, but never.
are they all fantasy books?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But the one is directly related. That is in the series. It says book 2.5. I don't think so, but Swarm and Steel.
Yeah, it is a. It's in the same world, Manifest Illusions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about the all-consuming.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. It's actually listed as book 3 on Amazon.
Yeah, and that's wrong.
yeah.
Amazon's a silly billy.
It is a standalone, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a standalone or a separate series in the same world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go to once again. Yeah.
But yeah, I think with this book, I think we were all kind of, because of the like Dennis mentioned, we kind of ramp up in the second book, and then we kind of expect that same pace with this one out the gate, but I think we have to kind of build and work towards the end. So
Yeah.
And
The ramp is pretty steep. I can tell you that.
Fair enough.
yeah. I wonder if we feel I was not disappointed per se, but like I was expecting that we'd go straight into the war with the old gods, or like that would be the main topic that we explore, which 25% and we haven't even mentioned yet. The elder gods, like we've seen one of them apparently come to life, but we haven't really explored that too much. I'm wondering if we're feeling this way about the need to ramp up, like sort of cheated a little bit, at least that's how I'm feeling, about the lack of the same pace in this book, because we just came off of the second book and started the third book immediately, or if people who remember what happened at the end of the book would still expect the same thing.
Good question.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess we've just come off it. So
Yeah.
we still waiting. But it would have been cool to just have like unrelenting action, just like finishing strong, just go strong the whole book. Just go fast the whole book. Just go insane the whole book or something like that.
Yeah.
I would. It would be fun to find one like that.
I did not expect it. For me, as I said, it was not that long ago, but longer than you guys, and yeah, I didn't expect it to go like, oh, we've got action, because of the ending. Like it all ended so sudden, and like I thought it was done, but then I forgot that Morgan was still there. So I was happy to return to the world, and I really like that it, like Dan said in the beginning, it felt slower paced. Even though it's a fast read, it felt slower paced because you're reintroduced to all these characters, and having finished it, it needs it, because it's going to go real insane real fast soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm not into the slow stuff. I'm into the insane stuff. I want crazy shit to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean for it to be action though. More that the topic of focus would be different, but we pretty much sort of still focused on small time aspects of all of our characters. So yeah,
And you get a little taste of what I'm saying, like chapter 13 with Stalen. I was like, is this real or what is happening, and that line gets crossed more and more. Like, what is real anymore? What is happening to these people or these characters? It's
Yeah. I just want more of it. I want to read a whole chapter and be like, what is going on?
yeah. Oh,
That's
you'll
what I
get
want.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Speaking of, I don't think I forgot to ask before we started recording about what we're reading next week. So
The next 13?
you want to do 13?
Yeah, I suppose. Let's see where that puts us.
26 would put us at
An American Beauty.
46%.
46? Do we want to go up to 50?
Let's see, what's 28? 28 is 50% on my
Let's do
my
that.
thing. So
Sure.
can we do that? 28? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so well, I don't know how many people have the arc, but next, I think it'll be released. I believe the release date is the 15th. I think so.
I thought I saw
18th.
18th on Kindle.
Pretty sure sometime next week.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
So 14 through 28, or actually through 27. Sorry. For next week, for those of you reading along with us, but cool. Anything else anyone had to mention, or any other thoughts?
Not really.
Nope.
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to get further into the story.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've translated some names, it makes more sense. Well, not more sense, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that we have a rereader again in the group.
Yeah.
Group.
yeah.
We're not all going blind in
Mhm.
with a shepherd.
The shepherd.
Shepherd the necessary.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, cool. So until next week, I guess, Varsha, where can people find you?
On my YouTube channel, Reading by the Rainy Mountain, the About page has other ways to reach me. Also, I hang out on the Patreon forum.
This is the easiest crew to get through outros with, and Joshua.
Yeah. You can find me at the Page Chewing Forum.
And Dan.
Yeah, you can find a Patreon forum, and if anyone is looking for some expensive Lord of the Rings Magic cards, I'm trying to sell a lot of them. Just plugging it in here.
I might be in touch. Yeah.
Okay, sounds
Yeah, I
good.
might be in touch with that. Yeah. Well, cool. So, yeah, until next week, we will talk to everyone then. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye guys.
Yeah, this was.
Let's see if I got it.
Yeah.
He's so quick.
Was it worth staying up till 4 a.m.?
You're still recording, right?
No, it's trying to stop.